Hey guys, it's Savannah from Hey Wanderer, and today I'm going to show you how we set up our stock tank pool. Last year we had someone else set it up, and we had a waterfall pump, and it does not filter the water, and that is a big deal. You definitely want to be able to get all the little bits out that you can't just scoop out. So we switched over to a real above ground pool filter pump. So I'm going to show you step by step what we did to set it up. We've had a lot of problems because we are using a pump that is meant for an above ground pool and using it on a stock tank. So I'm going to show you everything that went wrong and what you can do to fix it, and it's a lot of trial and error. So if you do not have a DIY mentality, maybe this project isn't for you and you should just get someone to do it for you. But it's not that hard actually. So I'll just show you the setup right now. It is not glamorous at all. I will be putting a bench all the way around the pool that will cover this up, but this is what you're dealing with. You know, you see all these glamorous pictures of a stock tank pool in someone's backyard, and they don't show you this, but this is real. There are a few things that you need to know when setting your stock tank pool up. One of them being that you need your water moving. Some people will just get a stock tank, fill it up with water, and then at the end of the season they will drain it. Well, we can't do that. We have mosquitoes like crazy. If we have sitting water, we will just be breeding mosquitoes. So we knew that we wanted to have chlorine in the water. We don't want to have any kind of bacteria, bugs growing, anything. And we also knew that we needed the water moving, so that's why you get a pump. So this is a real pool. You can just get the stock tank and fill it up and, you know, do whatever you want. But this is how you set it up so that your water is always clean. You don't have to refill it, and you don't have to refill it throughout the season. The water will be filtered and will be clean, and you won't have sandy bits at the bottom, which we had all last year. It's actually really annoying, and it feels really gross and more like a pond, and we are trying to use it as a pool. The first thing you're going to want to do is to get your stock tank on a very level surface. I put this wood across it and put a level on top to make sure it was right. Next, you're taking a hole saw and you're going to drill some holes in the side of your pool. You'll do this by first drilling a hole and then sticking the arbor in that hole, but ours already had holes from last year, so we're having to do a little extra work to get the holes right. Next, we're going to assemble the parts. This is the input. It's where it sucks in the water. It's like a drain. And you make sure you put the gasket on the inside of the pool, and all these instructions will be in your packet that comes with the pump, and I'm also linking it on our blog. I actually ended up putting a gasket on the inside and the outside of the pool for the bottom. On the top, I just did on the inside because I didn't have problems up there like I did at the bottom, but you could put it on both. You know, just kind of do whatever you need for your pool. Next, I'm going to attach the plunger valves to the top and the bottom. This is where you'll be able to stop the water from going into the hoses if you have to change any parts or the filter. Next, I'm going to attach the hoses, and it's very important that you screw them on really tight. You can use thread seal tape if you want, but I only used it on the parts closest to the pool. After everything is connected, I took silicone sealant and the waterproof kind, and I put it all around the inside and outside of the input and output on the pool. And then once it dried for about an hour, I went and put a second layer because I had a lot of problems with dripping through just one layer. The second layer really sealed the deal. And once the sealant is completely dry, you can fill the pool up. I actually only filled the pool up a little bit to see if there was any leaking, and a lot of times I did have leaking, and so you kind of have to drain the pool, fix the problem, so you definitely don't want to fill it up all the way without checking. And once it's filled, it's time to turn the pump on. You can turn it on and it probably won't have water coming on at first, but you're just going to spin the thing on top of the filter, which is also where you'll change the filter, but you just want to let some air out and it'll squirt water out, and that's fine. But as soon as it starts pushing the water out, you can turn that off. So you are going to need a few things besides a stock tank to run your pool throughout the summer. We'll have to buy filters to change out. They're not that expensive, and since the pool is so small, you really won't be using that many. You're also going to need one of these guys to keep your chlorine tablets in. You're also going to need chlorine tablets, of course. And then, so we just have this little box. It's dirty, but this is what we had last year, and there's still half of it full, so you won't need to spend that much money on that. And then we've also got just some straight up chlorine to shock the pool, which hopefully we won't have to deal with that this year, but we did have to do that last year. And we also have some pH, some lower pH stuff that lowers the pH in the water. You don't have to get that right away, but when we tested our water, the pH was way too high, so the chlorine was not right in the pool. So that's another thing. You will also need a water tester kit, and I mean I think they're like $6 to $10 on Amazon, but like I said, we'll link to everything below. And I believe that's everything you'll need to set up your pool, but if I forgot anything, I definitely will link it below.